totally delish pasta dish that she's been making on repeat for her family for over 20 years. Everyone, please welcome back to the show, Jennifer Reid. Hi, Jennifer. Oh my gosh, what a delay. Now, okay, last time you were here, we were chatting about your podcast season 1.
Yes.
We're gonna get into podcast season 2 a little bit later on. But first off, I hear you wanna whip up a little something delicious.
Just a little something.
Okay.
A little something. So this is very easy. I promise anybody can make it.
I like that.
I really only share recipes that are easy because I kind of like to think of when I first started cooking. So it's not certainly something that you're like, oh, I don't have any of the ingredients in my kitchen. So.
I love that. Now, because you are a busy mom of 4 grown kids.
Yes.
With your husband, Johnny Reid.
Yes.
How did you, there's a little bit of a story behind this recipe, isn't there?
Well, when we first moved to Nashville, I joined something that they called the Moms Club.
Yeah.
And basically it was just a bunch of women who really didn't know anybody, had just moved there, had kids, and we would get together and have play dates and coffee, and then we started doing just sharing recipes.
Oh, I love that.
Which was awesome. So this was one of the recipes that was easy, kid-friendly, and was a big hit. And so also whenever I make it, I kind of go back to that time and reminisce about that. So it's also kind of like a nice memory.
Oh my gosh, that's so nice. Honestly, food is that thing too. Sometimes when you move to a new place, you need that little connection. It gives you something to kind of like bond over, right?
This would be a great dish to like take to a new neighbor, take to somebody having a baby.
This is the key. Jennifer, giving us all those tips on how to make new friends.
Yes, new friends.
All right, so what are we getting started? First off, what are we making and what are we getting started with?
Okay, so this is called Easy Baked Ziti.
Fantastic.
For that name.
Love that. Yep. Yeah.
So you're really just gonna take 1 pound of ziti and you're gonna bake it to al dente, just cook it in salted water.
Okay.
Put it in a large bowl, and I like to say the key is a really large bowl because you're gonna be dumping a lot of stuff in and mixing it, so if you kind of just go right to the top, you'll be overflowing. So
This
extra
is
large bowl.
The number of times, even though I cook every single day, I never use the big enough bowl.
Right.
Always
use a big
go
bowl.
big.
You need a big bowl for sure. Yes. Or you'll be sorry. You'll have it all over your counter.
Yeah, this easy becomes now a mess. Yeah. Okay.
So cook your pound of pasta, and then in a skillet, just do Italian sausage, ground Italian sausage. I like to do mild. If you want a little bit more spice, you can absolutely do medium, or you can do hot, just depending. Or you can even leave the meat out if you just want to do like a vegetarian option as well. So
I love that.
This is cooked.
Okay.
Off.
It's hot. Is it really hot?
No, it's not really hot.
We're good.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Okay. I'll take this. So you're just going to take the sausage, and you're going to pour it on top of the cooked pasta.
Oh, I love this.
Into the bowl. Ooh.
Right? We're all into this.
It's also this is also one of those dishes your house will smell amazing.
Yes,
which I love.
Yes. And you know what I love about sausage? What a good hack for flavor shortcut.
Yes, like turkey that doesn't taste, or even beef sometimes can be a bit tasteless. Yeah,
exactly. Someone's put the spices in there already.
So go for the sausage and do the ground sausage. Like, don't get the tube of it. Yes, this just grounds kind of like beef. It's easy.
Amazing.
Yeah. So then you are just going to take a pound of mozzarella cheese and just cube it up.
Yes. Yep.
Which is great because
we're into this.
When you take bites of it, it kind of pulls apart on the inside, which is nice. Yes.
Okay.
You can't have too much cheese.
I agree.
No one ever was like, oh, that's way too much cheese.
No, and if you are, get out of here.
Yes. So the recipe calls for 3.5 cups of shredded mozzarella. Take a cup of it and put it in here.
Right on. Pop her in.
Yes.
I like that. You know what? It's the cube, too. It's going to give those pockets of ooey gooey meltiness in there.
See, you know more about why it works. I just know that it tastes good.
There you go. I love it. Fantastic. Perfect team. Perfect team.
Then you want to take 3.5 cups of marinara sauce. I just buy the jar, but I always say to invest in the good kind. Like, this is not the time to buy the
bargain basement.
Yes,
for sure.
Buy a good marinara sauce. Just pour it all in.
Okay.
And then you are going to heavily top with fresh ground pepper. So I like to do a coating and then just to start to stir it all together. And this is also like why you want a big bowl, because otherwise you are about to start getting covered in marinara sauce.
100%.
You maybe want to wear an apron just in case.
This is one of those recipes, honestly, I don't know what it is. Anytime I'm making something with marinara sauce, I unintentionally wear white.
Okay,
And it's a magnet. Like, you know what I mean?
Not a good situation.
Not very good. Okay.
You just want it completely coated, and you cannot also put in too much pepper.
Oh, you're a pepper gal.
Yes,
I like that.
I love pepper. Yes, you don't need any salt in this. You've already salted your water. For the pasta, so.
And that sausage will have a good amount of salt in it too, for sure. Yeah.
See, that's another reason why I didn't know that.
We're a team.
That's why. Yes.
All right.
So once it's done, you just have your 9x13 baking dish. Already grease it, oil it, and just pour the whole thing in.
Dump her on in. Let her go.
Again, it's heavy because it was a large bowl.
I mean, you have a family, 4 kids, a husband, that's feeding 6 with this baby. Oh my gosh.
And then you are just gonna take the rest of your mozzarella cheese and just put it on top.
This is where I get very excited. Look at all that cheese. Okay.
The other thing too is if you were going to, you could freeze this at this point, or also if I was going to take this to somebody, I would take it like this with a lid on, and I would just put a note on the top to bake it. With the cooking instructions, and then that way it's kind of like hot and fresh when they actually bake it, and they're not just reheating it.
I love that. And again, it feels like, I think that's the nicest thing when someone's maybe going through a time at home. Something's up. Someone taking a meal off their plate by putting one on, best thing in the world. All right, so we pop this into the oven. Oh, she's heavy.
It's heavy.
Yeah,
it's heavy.
It's a workout. We'll go into the bottom oven. Nicely done.
So 400 degrees, 30 minutes, not covered, and you just want to bake until it is bubbling and the top is kind of brown.
Okay, let's take a guess.
And look at that. It's already done.
Oh my gosh, Jennifer, look at this, baby. Okay.
Yes, and I promise your house, like people will start wafting into your kitchen. What are you making, Mom? What are you making?
Look at that number. Oh my gosh, with that golden brown cheese on top. That looks absolutely out of control. Good for a crowd. Jennifer, this is a beautiful recipe, but really quick, I want to chat about season 2 of your podcast, A Woman Like You. So I am so excited for you. Congratulations on season 2. That's absolutely amazing. Now, you cover such a huge variety of topics, from like lifestyle things, from daily beauty, health, things like this, to like hardships and parenting in the podcast. What are you most excited for this time around?
Well, I always say I want it to feel like you listen to the podcast and it's always topics that you would go to lunch and talk to your best girlfriends about, that you wouldn't maybe talk to your husband about, or a coworker or a stranger, and you kind of leave feeling filled up or talking about things that you're like, oh, I thought I was the only one. So this season we really honed in a lot on like finding your purpose after having kids, you know, kind of like on the other side of 40 or other side of 50. A lot of health topics on the other side of 40. We have a whole other one on menopause coming up.
Oh, great.
A lot of things that I just kind of felt people weren't really talking about, or they thought it was somehow taboo to talk about, and then therefore felt like they were the only ones. So
I love the fact that you said fill up, because that's what I want to do with everything. It's someone leaves a situation and they feel like a little full.
Yes, and you want to go out and kind of be a better person because you're like, okay, I just sat with someone who understood me. And so I always say the biggest compliment I get is when someone watches an episode and they send me a message and they say, oh my gosh, I feel like she just told my story. I thought I was the only one. And there's so many of them, right? And so I think just kind of taking that, whether it's divorce or, you know, a parenting, you know, problem, things like that. So that's kind of what we've been doing.
Jennifer, I am so excited for you. Huge congratulations on season 2. We cannot wait to listen. You will find a season 2 of Jennifer's podcast, A Woman Like You, on iHeartRadio. Hey, Mary here. What did you think? Drop your comments below, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more of the good stuff.